Well, the federal gun case against Hunter Biden, 2 charges kicked off this morning as jury selection began there in that case. The president's son is facing 3 charges after allegedly lying about his drug addiction on federal firearms documents when he bought a handgun back in 2018. A law that would no doubt land anyone else but the president's corrupt son in prison. The case is being brought against the president's son by prosecutor David Weiss after years of investigations. It's happening in Delaware. Here with me now to discuss this trial and the charges is counsel for Gun Owners of America, Stamboulieh. Stephen, nice to see you again. Listen, this is basically the exact opposite of the Trump trial in this regard. Trump had the most hostile jury pool possible. They're going to Hunter Biden's, basically his hometown, the home field, and there might be a home field advantage. These people all said they knew something about the case. They all know who this is. They couldn't have a more favorable jury pool if they tried. It's, like I say, the complete opposite of what Donald Trump faced, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I've been reading some of the people that are in the court, some of their press that have come out, and you'd be surprised at how many potential jurors have already been struck due to them having a negative opinion of the Biden. So I found that to be rather interesting in such a small state as Delaware to have people that really don't like President Biden, and by virtue of that, his son.
Well, you know, here's the thing. This is a pretty straightforward case. It happened in 2018, and apparently the defense wants to argue, well, Hunter Biden may have been an addict before then. He might have been an addict after then, but he wasn't an addict the time that he bought the gun. So this little tiny piece of time, Stephen, is when he was straight as an arrow, pure as the driven snow. Come on. It's a terrible defense. The fact of the matter is I filled out a number of these background check documents in the course of my life, actually dozens of them. And it's pretty clear at the bottom of it, right about when you're going to sign your name, it says, if you sign here and you didn't tell the truth anywhere on this document, you are committing a felony. I don't know exactly how it reads. I don't have it in front of me, but that's how it reads when you sign it. If you sign here and you lied, you're a felon. That's what it says, isn't it?
Right. And, you know, the ATF has not prosecuted the false charges on a 4473 a lot. They do prosecute it. Mostly they're going to prosecute something like the unlawful user and being in possession of a firearm. They prosecute that all the time. Now, it's different. Like, I don't really know what's going to happen in this trial. I've been asked by a lot of people, you know, what's my legal opinion on how the judge is going to act or how the jury is going to act. All it takes is one juror, just one juror, to not want to convict him, to put it into a hung jury, and then the government at that point will decide whether or not to try him again. So, you know, we'll see. Is this going to be different than the Trump trial? It probably will be. Delaware's too small. Everybody knows Biden's, and with the defendant's counsel getting out a lot of these jurors, they still have their peremptory strikes to go through, which the defense is going to get 10 peremptory strikes. The prosecutor is going to get 6 peremptory strikes. And that basically means if you see a juror, you don't like that juror for whatever reason, you just strike him. And you don't have to give a reason for it. So we'll see what happens when that jury's seated.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what to expect here either, although I think a hung jury is a very likely outcome. I think a not guilty is possible as well, for the reasons you specified. Look, these people have to live there. These people have to live in that community. If you give a guilty verdict in, you know, Team Biden's home court, I mean, are these things jurors consider? Of course they are. They're human beings. They consider these things. I don't know what's going to happen either, but it's a pretty straightforward case. Should be a slam dunk. I'll give you the last word. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right. I mean, they're really easy cases. You know, were you an unlawful user or addicted to a controlled substance when you had a possession of a gun? By his own admission in a book that you can buy on Amazon right now, he was. You know, did he lie on that form? Yes, he did. And was the form the basis for the transfer from the FFL, the licensee that he bought that firearm from? The answer to that question is yes. And if you take those facts and apply the law, I mean, it's a slam dunk, but it's
pretty simple.
It's a jury case.
Yeah. You know, I don't pick juries and I don't predict them because you just never know. Stephen Stamboulieh.
That's right.
Greatly appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right.